Stepping back into the memories of the January 25th revolution, Tahrir Square is alive again. The people are back in the streets to protest President Morsi and his constitutional declaration. During these large gatherings, many women have been victims of verbal and physical harassment. This problem is not new to the streets of Egypt. Sexual harassment is deeply rooted and is a serious problem. A growing number of activists have decided to join efforts and address this problem by staying in Tahrir Square and preventing assaults.
Harassment is one of the biggest issues that people outside of Egypt talk about when they talk about Egypt. All women in society across religion and across background, across social class, no matter if they're wearing the hijab, the headscarf, or if they're not, if they're even wearing the niqab, they all get harassed. People think that women are to blame. The culture of blaming the woman for what happens to her when, she's the one being attacked and she hasn't done anything to anyone else because of her clothes or because of the way she's acting or anything like that. And so Harakat Basma works in raising awareness about it's not the woman's fault. The woman has certain rights, just like everyone else.
The work of Harakat Basma started in the summer of 2011. It organized patrols in the metro stations and later focused on the streets during the feast holiday, a time sadly known as having the highest rates of harassment for women. Thanks to the presence of Harakat Basma and the other groups that worked in different areas of the center of Cairo, dozens of incidents were prevented. What the activists are now facing in Tahrir is different. The last cases of sexual assault resulted as mass rapes made by a group of paid thieves. Dressed with white t-shirts or with orange vests, these activists monitored the square in order to defend the women. Egyptian Girls Are the Red Line is one of these groups. They believe in non-violent action and in the rehabilitation of harassers.
How we act with the perpetrators or the people who we know would be perpetrators, okay, is a completely different way. We love him. We love him. We understand where he's coming from. He is still responsible. He is still very much responsible, but yet we still understand where he's coming from. We believe he should be re-educated, not hung from his legs in prison. These people can be even part of our campaign to stop harassment. And we have succeeded in joining people who are harassers to be now in with us fighting harassment and believing in the cause. And they, as a woman, they stand next to me and protect me.
كنت واحد من المتحرشين. كنتش بمد ايدي على واحدة في الشارع، بس اللي هو كان مكسب باللسان يعني. حلو يا جميل يا عسل مصريين. قناة مصر خط أحمر بتشتغل على سلوكيات، تغيير السلوك. ازاي ابقى ايجابي في الشارع. فانا من الفكرة دي هي اللي خلتني انضم لبنات مصر خط أحمر. ان انا مقتنع دايما ان هو ده اللي هيغير من البلد، يعني من مصر، من الشعب، هيخليها تطلع فعلا لقدام. اما احنا نغير من نفسينا.
The meeting point is a tent designed as a sit-in in the square that they use as a shelter for the victims and to organize their work. Patrolling the streets requires a well-developed organization. Addressing sexual assault is sensitive and has to be done following specific rules and practices. The girls need to be put in safety and isolated from the harasser, who also needs to be isolated to avoid being beaten. Most of the time, the situation is confusing and many people run to see what is happening. The result is that one often doesn't know who is trying to help and who the harasser is.
التحرك بتاعنا مختلف شوية عن أي فعالية تانية، لأن هنا بيبقى الزحام عالي جدا، فإحنا بالتالي بنقدر نجمع الشباب دول مع بعض. أنا اللي بوجههم، يعني لما بلاقي حالة معينة فأنا برفع إيدي بشاور لهم على البنت اللي ممكن يكون فيه خطر حواليها. المجموعة ديت لما بيلاقوا البنت اللي أنا بشاور لهم عليها بيبدأوا يحوطوها ويشبكوا إيديهم في إيد بعض، بيخلوها هي في النص وبنطلع البنت. ده أول حاجة. في مجموعة تانية بتاخد المتحرش وبنجيبه هنا لحد ما نسلمه للشرطة.
While Nancy was talking to us, a woman interrupted the interview.
كده مفيش تحرش، حرام. ليه كده ده يعني ليه؟
Within seconds, other people gathered, forcing us to stop filming.
انت ما تتكلمش الكلام ده ولا تعمل نقاش عشان خاطر تسوي سمعه الناس اللي في الميدان دي. ده من يومين حصل. ايه؟ لا ما حصلش. امنع التصوير ده يا جدع. امنع التصوير. فكك خلاص. امنع التصوير ده. مش تحرش الناس.
Even if some Egyptians try to hide the harassment problem in their country, the efforts of these activists and groups that patrol the square during the demonstrations prove that harassment exists and is a big problem.
I see promise in trying to change societal attitudes. I see promise in trying to work with the police forces to make sure that they recognize harassment as a problem and to pressure them into combating it, into doing what they need to do to protect women.
We have a president. It's time to put our laws. It's time to build Egypt. And because this is what I understand, sociology and psychology, I decided this is where I'm going to try to build as much as I can.
During its transitional phase, Egypt is struggling towards political stability. This is an example of people caring for their country and advocating for crucial reforms with the hope of granting women back their simple right of being able to walk peacefully in the streets again.